Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoyed these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I'd really appreciate it, and then I'd be able to forward my best to your inbox on a daily basis. If you like our watches, well, you can see them and you can buy them on our website, thewatchbox.com, the internet's largest single-source repository for late-model pre-owned luxury and vintage timepieces. You can see full boxes, papers, accessories when included with high-res images of all of our watches and complete pricing for this and our entire collection. Today we're discussing the Ressence Type 1 Mr. Porter in rose gold. Now in 2017 there were a few series of special pieces made for the online retailer Mr. Porter, of which this 6-piece limited edition was undoubtedly among the most striking. So 6 pieces in rose gold and grade 5 titanium. Truth be told, it's really a tripartite case with an enormous domed box section profile sapphire that forms the upper portion of the case, a rose gold mid case that incorporates the lugs, and then a case back in grade 5 titanium that ensures hypoallergenic properties against the wrist. The watch is fairly light on the wrist in spite of the use of gold, this due to the preponderance of sapphire and titanium. 42mm round on my 16cm circumference wrist, you get a good sense of the shape of the watch. It's almost lugless, with the wire lugs as they are being more of a means to drape the leather strap over your wrist than a true structural or physical element of the watch from a stylistic perspective. The watch is basically a round blob on your wrist, and I don't mean that in a pejorative sense. This is an attractive watch. It's also a fairly thin watch considering what's inside. 11.9mm thick means it will slide underneath the dress cuff because it is very much like a weathered pebble. It has an incredibly smooth case profile that should play well with any dress cuff, sleeves included, not just jackets. So the timepiece probably wears more like an old school Panerai Rodiomir than anything else to which I could directly compare it. A leather strap which is nice and slim and actually features a bonded profile maintains the minimalist aesthetic of the watch. It's a semi-gloss finish with a rose gold pin buckle for easy on-the-fly adjustments. The rose gold case itself is simple, the pebble being the design ethic, and the watch takes after its aesthetic inspiration in a most literal fashion, as almost every aspect brings you into contact with a new manner of rounding. If you want to find straight lines, you're really only going to find two: the junction of the bezel and the midcase, and the junction of the case back and the midcase. Everything else is wonderfully fluid, sensuous, sinuous, and yes, sexy. Now we can get super close here because we're off the wrist, and you can see that the watch has a rather confusing display if you've never encountered a Ressence product before. It's an orbital system based on planetary mechanisms, so let's set the watch perfectly to 12 noon. Now you can see how the display functions. You have a large regulator display, and it truly is a most unconventional of regulators. Radial minutes, the largest scale. There is a sub-hours dial, second largest, and then a small running seconds display. That's what they call the runner at Ressence. Now everything moves in a clockwise direction, including the day of the week indicator. So you have Saturday, Sunday, and then if you look, we're actually looking at Monday. And as we proceed from 12 noon, or I should say perhaps that was actually 12 midnight, because now we're approaching midday on Monday. And you can see how everything moves in sync. It's a wonderful dance. It's almost celestial in inspiration, and it's part of the formidable manufacturer watchmaking that Ressence invests in this watch. Inside the case, and you can see titanium case back, beautifully textured, you actually have two separate mechanisms, one built by Ressence, one built by ETA. You have a basic ETA 2824 automatic winding base that beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. Very simple, 25 joules, bidirectional automatic winding, 4 Hz beat rate, 36-hour power reserve. Then you have another mechanism featuring the remainder of the parts, the joules, bulking up with an extra 107 individual components. The Ressence orbital convex system is what completes the watch and turns it into a Ressence product. The two are coupled and they effectively become one. You use the case back interface to set the watch. So you simply turn to change the time, and you can see how easily I now set the watch, for example, to 1:30. 1, 30, but I can also wind the watch. Even though it's automatic winding, you find a particular arc of movement in the case back. It's almost like you think of a pizza cut into 8 parts, and then directly opposed from each other, there are 2 slices and an opposing 2 slices. Think of that arc as a percentage of the pizza, and that is the percentage of the caseback motion out of 360 degrees through which you simply ratchet the caseback back and forth to wind the watch. You can feel it. It's a distinctly gritty, tactile sensation when you get into the winding zone. You can't mistake it for anything else. So you set and you wind the watch entirely with the caseback. It is a formidable statement of independent inspiration, design, and original engineering. Now, the company is based in Belgium. The watches are made in Switzerland, so this is a combination of the best of both. They're friendly folks. I've met the people who actually plan and make these watches, and they're good kids because they ride their bikes to work. So it's easy to get into the brand, which makes about 400 to 450 watches a year. If you want something with rock-solid internals, thanks to ETA, original manufacturer watchmaking, thanks to the ROX system with its 15 jewels and 107 parts, a design like nothing else, and peerless ergonomics, you really need to consider Ressence, because this is a company that puts the entire package together. And this being one of 6 made in this specification, you're talking rarefied company indeed. You can see and you can purchase this one on our website. And we're back with the Ressence Type 1 Mr. Porter Rose Gold limited edition of 6 pieces. This watch is absolutely sensational, day or night. In fact, it might even be more fun to take the watch in the dark and set it, as the orbital convex display is an absolute party favor when the lights go down. This watch may yet be the life of your 4th of July party. See it and make it yours on the Watchbox.